I think people is underestimating everything about me, but that doesn't matter. We got to fight here Saturday, and all the uh, answers will be answered that night.
Is there almost some pleasure you can take in the fact that people are kind of counting you out, because then when you do prove them wrong on Saturday, you get an extra bonus of being able to tell them I told you so?
Oh, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be good. I can't wait.
And last one from me, from the UFC world, Ilia Topuria says that if you guys ever boxed, he would knock you out basically on the first punch.
That dude drunk. Hey, a lot of MMA guys, they drink a lot, so he must been on that alcohol that day.
Terence, for the fight itself, if you were to force Canelo.
I'm 1,000% sure now. You gotta think. Going into a fight, you don't know what's gonna happen. You can get injuries. He can get injuries. Like, there's so many things that goes on in a boxing match. The judges, the ref, like just everything, preparation. So you're not 100% sure. If a fighter say, "Oh, I'm 1,000% sure," they lying. Because you got to go out there and perform at the end of the day. And I'm more than ready to go out there and perform this Saturday. Judges, the ref, like just everything, preparation. So you're not 100% sure. If a fighter say, "Oh, I'm 1,000% sure," they lying. Because you got to go out there and perform at the end of the day. And I'm more than ready to go out there and perform this Saturday.
There's a lot been said about what's on the line Saturday night. You coming up 2 weight divisions, Canelo being the undisputed champion at 68. Is this a fight where you have nothing to lose? If you don't win, does that tarnish your legacy at all or take away from what you've done in the sport?
Not at all. Not at all. First and foremost, I'm definitely going to win. I'm winning this fight for sure. But at the same time, I don't think losing tarnish me or Canelo's legacy. I think Canelo's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I think that I'm a first ballot Hall of Famer. So, whether win, lose, or draw, both of us going in the Hall of Fame, and I think that's the ultimate goal at the end of the day, to be named with all the great fighters that came before us, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame for all that we've done in the sport of boxing.
Rising super middleweight star Christian Mbilli is confident ahead of his fight with Lester Martinez. Mbilli admitted he was hoping for a bigger name, but says he's ready to put on a spectacular performance. He reminded fans that he has already said he can beat fighters like Canelo Alvarez, and now, sharing the same card, he sees this as the perfect chance to prove he deserves that shot. Looking at the main event, Canelo versus Crawford, Mbilli made his prediction clear. He believes Canelo will win because this is Canelo's natural division, while Crawford might struggle with the weight jump. Mbilli's message was strong: win tonight, and he wants the winner of Canelo versus Crawford.
Very tough opponent. So what was your reaction to when they brought his name to the table and what he brings to the fight game?
In the beginning, I was disappointed because we want a big name fighter who very famous, and we don't have any choice. But he's a good opponent too, and I think we're gonna make a great fight.
Speaking of that, you've said in the past that you could beat guys like Canelo, beat guys like Benavidez right now. So now that you're on the same card as him, do you see this as the perfect opportunity to, hey, look at me, I'm doing this, and show the world that you're up next?
Yeah, of course, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm going to show the world, and I am the next opponent of Canelo or Crawford. Very great fight, very good fight. I think the best fight of the card of the show, and that's it.
If you win this, you'll be in position to challenge the challenger of the main event. What do you feel about that opportunity, and are you going to exercise your right to challenge the winner of Canelo and Crawford?
Of course, that's the goal. The goal is to be the champion, to be the number one, and right now I'm the number two. And I hope after this fight I will have opportunity to fight the number one of the division.
Who do you like in the main event? Who do you like in the main event?
Well, I think Canelo gonna win, but yeah, Canelo.
Ukrainian contender Serhii Bohachuk is set for a rematch against Brandon Adams this Saturday in Las Vegas on the Canelo vs. Terence Crawford event streaming on Netflix. Bohachuk says the first fight 4 years ago was a mistake, but this time he's smarter, stronger, and ready to dominate. He believes Adams is older now, while he's entering the ring in the best shape of his career. Looking beyond this fight, Bohachuk still wants big names like Virgil Ortiz and others in the division, saying he can only show his best skills against the best opponents. When asked about the main event, Bohachuk warned that moving up from 154 to 168 is too much for Terence Crawford, and predicted Canelo Alvarez will beat him because it's Canelo's natural weight class.
Too much. I'm boxer. I know what is this when you change one weight division. You change one weight division and you feel power, And he's jumping to weight division. Yes, a lot of people told me Crawford very strong. When Crawford feeling power Canelo, and it's that problem for him really. Yeah, I think because. I tell you, and you change one weight division, you feel this. It's jumping to weight division and one fight before he 147. He changed one weight division and the first fight with the Madrimov, very close fight. He just weight division. Now he jumped 2 more weight division. For me it's too much. I don't know. For me it's too much. Yes, I think Canelo beat him.
UFC President Dana White has weighed in on the blockbuster showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. White says this is what real combat sports are all about, not celebrity gimmick fights, but 2 of the best in the world putting it all on the line in one night. He called it almost unimaginable to see either fighter lose, which is why, in his words, this bout will prove who is truly the best of their generation.
When you have, a guy like Crawford who's undefeated and is willing to move up in weight and fight somebody like Canelo, this is what it's all about. I mean, two of the all-time best, right? Putting it all on the line. Every time you put on a fight, what makes people care about it is what's at stake, right? That's why some of this celebrity stuff that happens, I think it's goofy. It's not what I do, but I completely understand that, this celebrity versus this celebrity, and you just want to see the train wreck and see who's going to win. I totally get it. But what I love is when you have 2 of the absolute best ever that are willing to put it on the line one night to see, who is the best fighter of their generation.
Hard to imagine either guy losing to the other one, right?
Terence Crawford says a win over Canelo Alvarez will secure his place on boxing's Mount Rushmore. At the press conference, Crawford accidentally referred to Canelo as Cotto before quickly correcting himself, but made it clear that September 13th, he plans to walk away with his hand raised. Confident in his legacy, Crawford promised that beating Canelo would prove he belongs among the all-time greats.
Will a win over Canelo put you ahead of Mayweather as the greatest boxer of this generation?
Listen, I leave the opinions to everybody else, but like I said, after this fight, when I defeat Canelo, I'm gonna be on Mount Rushmore. That's where I'm gonna be.
Gracias. And quick question for Terence. Terence, well, the talks about him, about your resume, that you're not a elite fighter. After this fight, how would you rate yourself as a boxer in general?
Well, listen, like I said, a win over Canelo will put me on, Mount Rushmore, and I really believe that.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Just like Canelo, being in the ring with great fighters like Amir Khan, knocked him out in the 2nd round, so he had the resume, he had the fights. So, that was years ago though. I'm a way totally different fighter now, and I'm going to prove it September 13th. You can believe me, you can doubt me, but September 13th, I assure you I'll be walking away with my hand raised.